Right, this next guy is Dave Windass. Dave is a fantastic playwright. Several of his plays have been performed at Hull Truck. And when Dave's not eating, he can be usually found staring into his fridge. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Windass.
Hey, how are you doing? All right? Have you got as many wheelie bins as me? We've got a really small front yard, and you can't move for wheelie bins. We've got the grey one, obviously, for the normal stuff, and then the blue one, and then the brown one, and we've got this green box as well for rotting food. And the council make us put another green box inside the house for rotting food as well. So there's not a lot of room to swing in the front yard, and someone's nicked our front gate as well, just to add to the misery. So there's all kinds of crap blowing in. So this is about something that I found between the many wheelie bins one day. Crow. There was a crow in our front yard just the other day, nestling between 3 wheelie bins and discarded takeaway. It scared me when I saw it, as I know they bring bad luck. It stood its ground, all nonchalant, couldn't give a flying fuck. I teased it with a Vans trainer, gave it a little nudge. Damaged almost certainly, otherwise it would have budged. I left it there, I went inside hoping it would go away. I cared enough to wonder if I should phone the RSPCA. The internet would hold the clues, tell me what I need to know. A death within is forecast if you see a single crow. One for sorrow, bloody hell. I'd have to move it on before it did its devil's work, unless Wikipedia's wrong. This crow was quiet and subdued, meaning Lucifer was calling. Now wedged behind the recycling caddy, this little shit was stalling. I moved the bins out of its way, leaving Crow and me staring as if directed by Sergio Leone. I didn't want no trouble, I didn't want to die, but if it meant not going to the crows, I'd pierce this corvid's eye. Yet as the Romans have noted, that was impossible to do. Crow crossed my path, and with a hop, scuttled somewhere new, across the road where it would cower beneath the Nissan Micra. I smile and keen for victory, I shout, I could have had you! Later, sat watching Britain's Got Talent, I hear a car start, reverse, then a raucous call echo through the streets. Tomorrow, I'll discover that finding a dead crow on the road is good luck. Unless you're a crow. Thank you. So a couple of short ones, you'll be relieved to know after that. Is anybody here on Twitter? It's a social media site, social networking site. And the weird thing about these social networking sites is they're actually making us socially dysfunctional. So you get people sat next to each other tweeting, and what it is, you're basically, in a short space, you're allowed to tell the world what you're up to. So you get people sat next to each other, tweeting, saying, I'm sat next to each other, and somebody's tweeting, you know, and it's there's all that kind of rubbish going on. So this is called Life is 140 Characters. I used to enjoy telling the world what I was up to, using 140 characters. But I woke up one morning, and I realised that writing for 140 characters is actually a lot harder than writing monologues. Thank you. There's a lot to be angry about these days, but some behaviour is inexcusable, and the disclaimer before I read this one, which is called Anger Management, is that this isn't autobiographical. So, anger management. You could do with a course of anger management, she said to me as I raised my voice. Although shouting, I pointed out that, in moments of anger, it's normal to raise your voice. It's the raising of my fist that should worry you. Thank you. So, going to the supermarket should be quite easy, but for me, it's always plagued with misery. They try and foist loyalty cards on you, or there's like this Black Elvis impersonator who wants to know why I'm trying to get out of the shop at Tesco. This is something that happened to me, this is called Underground. At night, underneath Tesco's, lurks a gang of boy racers with their modded Vauxhall Novas and pockmarked pasty faces. They're not doing anything except for hanging round their motors in their finest tracky bottoms and scratching at their scrotums. Amongst the lads there's lasses who giggle at their beaux, laughing, thinking that they're joking when they describe them as their hoes. They've seen Too Fast, Too Furious. They listen to hip-hop. They read the Auto Trader and browse Halfords quite a lot. Then I see these two. I overhear them talking, then shouting, and it's clear that there's an issue, that he's ended their relationship, she's reaching for a tissue, and he's shouting that she'll have to walk, or get the bus to fuck knows where. She's not getting in his Nova anymore, he doesn't care less that she paid for the front and rear kit. Do one, piss off, push off, he couldn't give a shit. But look yonder, on the horizon, a Citroen Saxo. A knight with very wide, shiny wheels, two-tone exterior, salubrious interior styling and a crowd-pleasing body kit. There's a screech of brakes as he pulls alongside and asks the bird if she needs a ride. She nods her head, she climbs inside, driver glances across, gets an eyeful of thigh. And I'm thinking, as interesting as this is, I'd quite like to go and buy that Ginster's pasty I promised myself. But West Side Story's still taking place and Nova drivers not prepared to lose face. So side by side their engines roar, they'd look a twat now if they stalled. There's menace, violence in the air in this concrete late night racer's lair. As spaghetti western scene unfolds, as fuel flies through the manifold. They're staring at each other now, revving engines. I wonder how this nightmare scene will ever end. A tragic smash just round the bend. A head-on crash on Springbank West. I doubt they've even passed the test. Broken glass. 3 left dead. A car horn blasts. A severed head. But wait, I'm making a lot of assumptions about this gang off in the distance. I should arbitrate, offer some assistance. So I look at them, they look at me. I give a friendly wave. They see. What do they see? Some middle-class twat late-night shopping, buying crap. I'm 20, no, 30 years older than them. I can still relate, I was once like them. Although I never had a motor, never wore a trackie, scratched my scrotum out in public at every chance. Actually, when I was young, I ballroom danced. Shit. These kids, from some sinky state, I guess, beneath the auto glimmer mess, they're on smack, they're on crack. They've nicked those wheels, they're scroungers, chavs, they're on New Deal. No, they're not. How would I know? I don't frequent the places they go, and if they were a set of scum, the cops had come and moved them on. No. Those three, theirs is a love that requires a warning triangle. It's complicated, and this underground scene where hazard warning lights flash faster than the beat of a heart, this is merely where they live their lives, the way the rest of us do when we're arguing at the breakfast table. Okay, so ours doesn't involve clutch cables and track rod ends and camshafts, and stupidly oversized spoilers, but underneath the bonnet, the parts are the same. And we all require equal amounts of maintenance. So I leave them to it, I decide to move on, conceding that, yeah, I've got them wrong. Then I look back, just one last time. They're giving me the wanker signs. I smile, which proves a stupid thing. Ignition turns, their engines sing. Foot to the floor, they're coming my way, and whatever I say, it's going to sound gay to this bunch of lads from Orchard Park, who at the very least want answers. More likely they'll fancy the chances. A fight erupt, they're making advances towards someone who dances. So shitting it, I turn and run, accelerate as fast as I can. They laugh before a handbrake turn rotates their cars, the rubber burns. What lesson did I learn? That at night, underneath Tesco's lurks a gang of boy racers with their modded Vauxhall Novas and pockmarked pasty faces. They're not doing anything except for hanging around their motors in the finest tracky bottoms and scratching at the scrotums. They've seen Too Fast, Too Furious. They listen to hip-hop. They read the Auto Trader and browse Halfords quite a lot. Thank you.